Hi everyone, welcome back to Butterfly Ivy, the Nature Witch. Today I want to be introducing a new series about astrology. It's something that I really enjoy. Astrology is a really fun subject for me. I chose to start with Mercury since Mercury is about to go retrograde come Halloween on the 31st. So I decided to start out of order with Mercury first. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm also going to be looking at my notes because it's a lot to cover. But stick around until the end to find out what Mercury retrograde means and why you shouldn't really worry about it if you're working with the energies. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Mercury, the first planet from the Sun, the signs that it rules is Virgo and Gemini because Mercury's energies as a whole is all about mind, thoughts, communications, learning, technology, business, machinery, things of that nature. So with Virgo being very detail-oriented and Gemini being the sign of communication, that's why Mercury rules those two signs. Mercury also rules one of the days of the week, Wednesday. That's why Wednesday is a really good day to do spells concerning communication, technology, business, and learning and things of that nature. So Wednesday's a really powerful day to do those types of spells and rituals. How it affects your chart, your Mercury placement in your natal chart. Your Mercury acts as the middleman between your Sun and your Moon signs. Your Sun is the core of your identity and your purpose in life, and your Moon sign is your emotional character. And so Mercury comes in and kind of acts to reconcile the emotional with more of the intellect. Because you can't be all emotion and no intellect, just like you can't be all intellect and no emotion, because then you would suffer. The next thing I want to talk about is a lot of people are a disagreement of it, but exaltation, detriment, and fall. Exaltation in a birth chart basically means the energies of the planet in question with the sign that it's in. The two energies play really well together. In the case of exaltation in Mercury, it's exalted in two signs, which is Virgo and Aquarius. You might be thinking, okay, Virgo, that's one of the signs that it rules, and if it works really well, why isn't it Gemini? Why is it Aquarius and not Gemini? Well, because Mercury's energies is so similar to Gemini's energies, if you pair the two together, you kind of end up with someone who you would perceive as being ADHD. That's the nicest way I can put it. But anyway, when it's in Virgo, like I said, Virgo is very detail-oriented. These are the types of people with Mercury and Virgo. They always seem to know just what to say and when to say it. And Aquarius, if they have Mercury and Aquarius, this person treats you unique, like you're one of a kind, and they're very personable. You get the sense that when they're talking to you, all of their attention is focused on you and nothing else. Detriment is basically the middle between exaltation and fall. Detriment means that the sign's energies don't work very well with the planet that it's in. Not so much that it's unachievable or undoable, but just enough to cause a little bit of friction and uncomfortableness. And the two signs that it's in detriment in is Sagittarius and Pisces. I almost forgot to show you, this is the symbol for Virgo and Gemini, its rulers. And Aquarius, one of the exaltations. But we're talking about Sagittarius now. Okay, so like I said, with detriment, the energies just don't really work well together. They don't work against each other, so to speak, just not well together. In terms of Mercury and Sagittarius, these people come off as all talk, no action, also being too idealistic, and extremely blunt to the point of being rude. It's not that they feel that way or they want to come across that way, it's just the way that they come across and are perceived by others. In the case of Pisces, Pisces is unique because Mercury in Pisces is both in detriment and fall at the same time. In terms of detriment, Pisces, the people with this, the reason it falls into detriment and fall is because these people, they tend not to know what to say or when to say it. They might say things at the wrong time. They might not say something that they should or want to the point that they hurt themselves. And I'll go ahead and talk about it since it's in fall. Fall is when the planet's energies work against each other, so much so that it's a detriment to the individual. And in terms of Pisces, this can lead to a sense of martyrdom and self-sacrifice. Basically in arguments, because they don't know what to say or when to say it, they really get hurt really quickly in arguments and things of that nature, because a lot of people are always pushing them to communicate and tell them what they're feeling right then and there, but they just can't, because Pisces is a very emotional sign. They're so deep in their feelings that they can't tell you what's going on in their head or their heart at any given time. They have to sit down and think about it. The other sign that it's in detriment in is in Leo. I mean, not detriment, but fall is in Leo. And the reason it's in fall in Leo is because if you have Leo and Mercury, other people may perceive you as selfish, overconfident, and all about me, me, me. It's not that these signs mean that. In fact, and every sign placement has an evolved and unevolved type. And Mercury and Leo people, if they're the evolved type, they can sometimes get hurt a lot because people assume that it's all about them, but really, when they're the evolved type, it's just their way of showing you when you're telling them something and they tell you a similar story. They're not trying to one-up you or anything like that. They're just trying to show you that they truly do understand what you're saying. Right, next is what if you have Mercury in retrograde in your birth chart, in your natal chart? People with Mercury in retrograde in their natal chart, they tend to be the type of people that no one really understands. People misunderstand them a lot. They can't communicate quite efficiently. It's interesting though, because these people actually have really improved communications during when Mercury goes into retrograde, when everybody else is having a lot of miscommunications. They find that they're able to communicate really well at that time. In terms of past life karma, not everyone in the astrology community subscribes to this, but I do, because I've seen a lot of coincidences that leads me to believe it's real, especially like with my Mars in retrograde. My Mars is not only in retrograde, it's in detriment. But anyway, basically in terms of past life karma with a Mercury retrograde in your natal chart, in a past life you misused the gift of gab. You could have been a con artist, you could have been somebody who misled a lot of people, you could have been the leader of a cult or a sect or something like that, that wasn't so great, that really hurt and abused people because of the promises that you made vocally. And that's why in this lifetime you struggle so much to communicate with others, is because you misused communication in past lives. When Mercury goes retrograde, once it's, like I said, it's about to in the sign of Scorpio. That's going to be fun. Not. Basically, problems with communication and miscommunications arise during that time. Also, technology and machines can tend to break or malfunction during that time, and business deals can go awry during that time. And with it being in Scorpio this time, basically what that means is your petty friends and rivalries are going to be revealed to you, and you're also going to have to deal with your trauma and your issues. And if you're using some sort of vice to try to ignore those, it's really going to kick you in the teeth during this time and make you. That's why it's always important to work with the energies of retrograde when planets go into retrograde, because when Mercury goes into retrograde, it serves as a chance for us, if we work with the energies, to improve our communications, not just during the retrograde, but from then on. So I promised that I would talk to you about how to prepare. If you stick around to the end card, you can click on the monarch butterfly. It'll be on this side of the screen, I believe it will be. And that will lead you to my tarot channel. And on there I have a video about a Mercury retrograde spread. It helps you to prepare for what's coming up for you in the Mercury retrograde spread. It tells you what miscommunications lie ahead, how to improve your communications during the time, what things you need to work on, and also what not to blame on the Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde gets a lot of hype, a lot of negative press, because a lot of people like to use it as a scapegoat for things. Because like I said, if you work with the energies, it helps you to improve your communications in the long run. So it's not really a scary thing. It can be if you resist, because it will kick you in the teeth and it will drag you. Well, anyway, that's all I have on this. So until the next video, I think I'll do the sun next, just to get everything caught up and in line. Always remember, if you take care of nature, nature will take care of you.